So what do you think? You think having communication is like the
It's
key, the first key to a healthy relationship?
Well, they say healthy relationships are like a tripod, and I'm pretty sure communication is one of those legs. It's like what's communication,
facts.
love, and sex. Yeah, I think it's communication, love, and sex.
Shit, I would say
you need
I would
all
say
three.
communication is the main pole of that tripod, and all the other stuff is holding it up. You know what I'm saying? Because you can remove one of those pegs on the tripod, and it'll be leaning, but it can still stand. Like you could have a relationship without sex. It's gonna be rocky, but if you don't communicate, that whole shit is gonna fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whole foundation is gonna fall if you don't talk about, you know.
If you can't talk.
If you can't talk, or if you won't, because some people just
or
won't.
if you won't.
Yeah.
The number one reason why work is trash, communication.
That's true. That's like the biggest problem at my job.
No one ever communicates, no matter like when you work, because that's the problem with my job too. It's ridiculous.
Yep, that's the biggest problem, communication. But I mean, basically, how it ties into relationships is just like you can't really know me and understand what I want and understand what I need if I'm not communicating those things to you. And that's not just verbal. That's everything. Those are nonverbal things.
Nonverbal communication. Jeff gets nonverbal communication because Jay kind of fails at nonverbal communication.
Well, he gets it because, and if he doesn't get it, I throw it right in his face.
Those soup.
Yeah. So I'm not agreeing with the nonverbal communication because some people just don't get nonverbal communication.
Yeah, I'm not a nonverbal.
He's not a nonverbal person. Like it has to be spelled out. Alphabet soup.
But he doesn't get anything about you and your body language. Like there's nothing that.
Well, no body language.
Well,
yeah.
Like,
but in terms of like
cues of communication, and I feel like only
that's
he
true.
knows, and like a random person wouldn't know about you.
No, that's true. No,
Like he
in
says,
that way, yeah.
He
in that
says
way,
when
yeah.
I'm mad, like I start getting quick. Like everything, I start moving quick. I didn't even know that about myself.
So you just started like moving mad fast, fucking Speedy Gonzalez.
Aggressively.
I mean, as far as the nonverbal things, it's not that I can't see. I see the nonverbal stuff, but I prefer you to just tell me. Like, cause I'm comfortable enough in my communication skills that if we're having a conversation, then we're gonna understand each other. So you don't have to. I tell her all the time, like, you don't have to storm off. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have to, skulk around or throw stuff or whatever. Just tell me. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that shit. Okay, cool. Why you didn't like it? Oh, because you did this and this and that. Okay, well, I didn't mean that. Because when you have a conversation like that, it kind of diffuses everything. Because you realize how stupid you are for being mad. Like, because I do the same thing sometimes. I'll be like, I'll come in riffing. Like, yo, why did you do this? And she'll be like, I did this because you told me to do it like 2 days ago. Oh. Alright, well, next time, what I'm saying, tell me before I come in the house and start riffing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like no, you have just gotta be. Yeah, you just gotta.
But why I said you don't get nonverbal cues. The first 3 years of our relationship, like I'm the type of person where I don't really speak. So it's like I try, like you throw hints, and I don't even think it's me. It's at people. Like you think throw hints, like they'll get it. No, like you throw things at Jay, it just whoosh, like so. It's like if I have to tell him exactly, or else it won't ever reach anything. Like it goes right over his head. He doesn't get hints. He doesn't get little. No.
Just be straightforward with me.
You have to.
I don't know. If I say goodnight to Jeffrey and it's 5 o'clock, he knows that something's wrong.
It's 5 o'clock.
What happened? What did I do?
There are nonverbal. Well, like my nonverbal cues that he does get is like when I get upset, I do start slamming stuff. It's a thing that I'm working on in life, but it's a bad habit.
Yeah, anytime I have an internal like decibel reader, and when I she walks heavy, but there's a certain level of like when it's like a rumble, I'm like, babe, like, what's going on?
Yeah,
what's the
right.
problem? Like all I hear is douche, douche, douche. You sound like a T-Rex, like coming in the hallway. So I'm like, all right, I put the controller down. All right, man, what's going on here? Like you start slamming pots and the refrigerator's
Exactly.
like douche. Like, I'm like, okay, what is going on?
You know this son's wrong.
Yeah, what's the problem?
What's going on?
What
Let's
is
talk
your
about it.
issue?
Let's get it over.
I don't know if it's hereditary. I feel
like
like my mom does that. I feel like it's stuff that you learn from your parents that you don't even
That's
realize you
true.
pick up, because I really think that that's something that my mom does that I've learned through her. Like, because I don't know that I didn't notice I even do it until he said, babe, well, why are you slamming stuff? I'm like, I'm not even slamming it. And he's like, you slammed mad stuff just now. And I'm
Plus,
like,
you
okay.
also, to go along with that 5 o'clock thing, you know, if she says Jay, like if she calls me Jay, that means it's something more serious than like, you know, because otherwise she'll be like, babe, come in here, whatever. But if she's like Jay, and it's short, she hit me with the short J. Like, all right, what's the problem? Like, I gotta put stuff down. I actually gotta pay attention to what she's talking about. Like sometimes she'll be talking, and I just zone out. I'll be in the
He's the
TV
worst.
or whatever, and then the J snaps you back in the. She'll be like, Jay.
That's when you know, oh shit, I gotta pay attention.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Was you listening to me?
What
Yeah,
happened?
I was listening to me.
my
What did I say? I don't know.
I forgot.
I have to say things at least 3 times for him to retain it. Like,
No, I'm working on that.
oh my god, it's
It's
crazy.
a guy thing.
It's so annoying.
It is.
Talk to them,
And then he
and then they say that they you didn't tell them anything.
yeah, they're so short.
This morning, I told Jay, I woke up, because when I wake him up, I have to call him at least 3 to 4 times and get a response.
This don't count. First of all, since we're talking about communication, I'm a hard sleeper. Like not a hard sleeper, but when I wake up, it's like an old computer. Like I have to like I'm not a good morning person. It takes me like at least 10 to 15 minutes to even understand what's going on. She'll come in the room, start the computer, and then start putting all type of programs and shit in. I don't know what you're talking about. It don't even sound like English. It just sounds like and she's like, I told you this, I told you this, I told you this, I told you this. Like, no, like hand me something to drink. Like something that has to get the motors working. Like you talking and sound like
have my coffee
but no,
first.
it doesn't. No, because I've tried it in every type of way. So now
It's not true.
I try to be as short as possible in the morning. He swears I says, I'm like, no. Usually I'm always like, Jay, are you awake? Huh? Jay, you're up? Yeah. I leave, come back. Jay, you sure you're up? Are you up? Okay, I'm leaving. And then I'll come home. Babe, when did you leave? Did you feed the kids? I said, babe, I told you that I was leaving. I told you that I fed the kids. And I asked you to feed Benji. None of that computed. None of that. He heard none of that. But I got 4 acknowledgments. Go put the button
I
on.
don't think Jeff said it.
You didn't say anything. Put the button on communication.
Communication. I think a lot of people find it hard to talk about, to just communicate in general. You know, I think that's not something that a lot of us are like familiar with. You know, like we never saw it in our family, our parents, or whatever, or if we even have both of our parents there. We
Well,
never
how to
saw
communicate effectively.
effectively. Yeah, like
Or correctly.
Yeah,
Not
you
just
know.
screaming and
Exactly.
slamming
Yeah.
cabinet
What?
doors.
What'd you say? Let me get my chocolate out. You know? So I feel like a lot of people would just have trouble with that. You know?
Yeah.
It's not something easy.
You know what's a good tip that I could offer as far as communication goes is that sometimes you have to learn when you're communicating with your other significant other is to take an L sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta take the L, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not worth it to keep the intensity, to keep the tension going. Sometimes the other person is wrong, and if
it's
the
not that
argument is not
important.
that important, it's not that serious, you can be like, you know what? You're right. You know what I'm saying? I fucked up.
Or you could agree to disagree. I feel like people don't use that enough. Like that's an Uno card that you could use. Like you could agree to disagree and keep it moving. Like and just let the tension fall.
Yeah,
Versus,
but that only works with 2 reasonable people.
well, yeah.
Some
True,
people
true.
you can't reason with,
If you can't reason,
and they want to hear that
That
you're
you're
wrong.
right,
But
or
what I'm
you're
saying
wrong.
is that there are some fights that you should have.
pick your battles.
Pick your battles. Sometimes it's not worth it to try to get the W. for the night. Like you're trying to get the W for the night, so y'all could both go to sleep and have a good night. And it's like sometimes you just be like, yo, I'm gonna take the L today. Like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, it shouldn't be so important that like to have to win an argument or anything like that. Because at the end of the day,
it's supposed to be partners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a
Partners.
win-lose.
It's not a win-lose. You guys are in it together. It's a team.
Yep.
You guys are on a plane. You guys are the pilot and co-pilot.